Hey there, my new War Thunder battle buddy. In this video, we're diving deep into one massive topic. Just one, but trust me, it's a big one. We're talking tanks. Everything you need to know. The machines, the madness, and everything in between. Let's roll out. Alrighty then, I'll show you how to avoid embarrassing your parents and friends and kick off your journey with some seriously good gear. Yeah, even premium tanks. Plus, I'll break down how to grind those ground forces tech trees like a pro. But first, hit up the description below. You'll find a link to the War Thunder site. And guess what? That's where our tank guide begins. Snag your first premium tank, enjoy a free 7-day rental, grab 100,000 Silver Lions, and even pick up some mid-tier vehicles for a spin. This is where your journey in War Thunder kicks off, with your very first tank. I'm all about enthusiasm, but let's get serious for a minute. Let's get you started off right. Before we charge ahead, let's lock into the nation you'll be grinding. And here's a little life hack for you. By switching the language on the sign-up page, you can score different starter tanks depending on the region. Check it out. Here's what you get if you pick English, and look, here's what you get on the Russian setting. Spoiler, if you're all about tanks, you're better off picking English. Why? Because the free tank you get is stronger and your bonuses will be tied to US vehicles, making it way easier to grind that line. Plus, that premium tank, yep, it's from the US tree. Win-win. But hey, if you're not a big fan of US tanks, no worries. You can sign up in Russian or any other language. Just swap the languages a few times and check out which tanks they're giving away. You might even find something you like. The important thing, no matter what you pick, you're getting a 7-day premium, and trust me, that's what matters most. To help, here's a handy chart showing how much XP you'll need to grind all the way to the top tiers. Premium helps you earn that sweet XP faster, so yeah, you're definitely gonna need premium. The shortest grind? Japan. You only need about 5 million XP to go from 0 to top tier. The longest? The USSR grind, a brutal 10 million XP. So if your goal is to hit the top as fast as possible, go with Japan. Their vehicles are basically a wild mashup of American and Soviet tech. Pretty awesome, right? Want to save yourself a ton of time? Go with Japan. Looking for the most comfortable and easy ride? Then pick the USA. Alright, now let's jump into setting up your game so when you smash buttons, something actually happens. Look, driving tanks doesn't exactly take a genius. You roll forward, you shoot stuff, boom, done. But winning, man, that's a whole different story. To dominate, you gotta know the tank mechanics, and that's exactly what I'm about to break down for you. Glad you're here. First thing, head into your settings and search for grass. Yep, right there you'll find what you need. Looking for grass in tank optics and smash that thing off. Trust me, this one setting messes up your visibility big time. If you're here to actually win and not just drive around looking at flowers, turn it off and never look back. I know, thanks a lot. Next up, audio settings. Crank down everything except for engine sounds and effects. Why, you ask? Because hearing enemy tanks is huge, especially in city fights. You'll need to listen carefully. If you hear an engine humming around a corner and it's not your teammates, hey, you better be ready to shoot first. You're probably not getting a second chance. Pro tip. And while we're still talking about sounds and engines, make sure you set a hotkey to turn off your own engine. It's a lifesaver on city maps. You park yourself in a nice little ambush spot, go full stealth mode, and just wait. Sooner or later, some poor enemy's gonna roll right past you, practically begging to get blasted. Next, turn off join already started matches. I know, sounds like a small thing, right? It's not. Trust me, the first few times you get dropped into a half-lost match, you'll be annoyed. The 10th time, you'll be ready to smash your keyboard. Save yourself the rage, switch it off early. All right, let's talk about movement. You know, tanks actually have cruise control. You'll find it on this key. And if it's not set for you yet, go ahead and bind it. You'll also want to set up hotkeys for your stabilizer, both turning it on and off. These two, cruise control and stabilizer, work hand in hand. See, so the stabilizer only kicks in properly when you're moving it around 25 kilometers an hour, or a little less on older tanks. On modern tanks, well, it works almost all the time. And guess what? Cruise control helps you stay stay at just the right speed. See how it's all connected? I know, tanks a lot. The stabilizer itself's pretty straightforward. It's there to smooth out the shake and keep your aim steady. This sounds great, right? But like everything, there's a catch. The stabilizer smooths your aim, which can actually slow you down when you're trying to snap to a new target fast. Without it, your turret and aim move quicker and feel snappier, which is actually something experienced players actually prefer for fast target switches. A lot of players just shrug this off, but if you actually want to become a legend tank ace, this tip is going to be worth its weight in gold. Trust me, you'll find yourself using it way more than you think. Now, before we move on to the next pro tip, you have to set your sight adjustment controls. Here's where to find it. Just type sight grid into the settings search and bind keys for increase, decrease, and reset sight distance. Most players map these to the mouse wheel or side buttons. You can also fine-tune it by searching mouse wheel in the settings. By default, it's set to zoom axis, but you'll get way more out of it if you switch it to sight distance input instead. It's a small tweak, but it'll make aiming at long distances much smoother. Win-win. You'll mostly be using this in realistic and simulator battles, and it pairs perfectly with the next tip. Make sure you're using the rangefinder too. In arcade battles, it's built in and automatic, but in realistic and sim battles, you'll need to manually ping the distance to your target. By default, that's bound to the X key. Don't forget it. As you climb up the BR ranks, you'll start unlocking vehicles with laser rangefinders, the real top-tier stuff. At that point, you can pretty much forget about manually dialing in the range. Once you hit the laser button, it'll auto-adjust your sights for you. Easy mode for the big leagues. I know, tanks again, right? Next up, the binoculars. Sounds simple, right? Just look through them and scout around, but nope, this is actually the second most important tool in the minimap. Here's the trick, right? Your binocular view is positioned higher than your gunner's sight. That means you can peek over hills and cover without exposing yourself. And be honest, you spend half the match glued to your gun sight anyway, right? 2, you can actually fire using the binoculars, lining up shots on targets hiding behind hills. Found a target. Left click while looking through the binoculars. Your turret will automatically swing toward it. Adjust the sight distance if you need to, then exit binocular view and fire. Boom! The shell flies exactly where you aimed, and you never had to stick your whole tank out like a giant shoot me sign. It's basically tossing shells over the hill without becoming a free kill. Killer tip. Hey, one more thing. At the start of every battle, always check your ammo loadout and listen carefully. Never roll out with a full ammo rack. Hey! Brace yourself, newbies, because here's some shocking truth. Every single shell you carry physically exists inside your tank. And if someone hits your ammo rack, well, you're basically fireworks, but not the good kind. More like your turrets flying into orbit kind. And since we're on the topic of ammo, you should always know about something called the ready rack. It's basically the shells that are ready and easy for your loader to grab. That means your first few shots will reload way faster than the rest. Good to know when you're picking fights, because after those first quick shots, things always slow down. Alright, let's talk about protecting our steel bathtubs. A lot of these tanks can pop smoke screens, but not all smoke is the same. There are 2 types, cold smoke and hot smoke, and yeah, they are very different. Why should you even care about the temperature? Because tanks with thermal sights are a thing. And depending on the type of smoke you use, you might either save yourself or completely screw yourself over. Cold smoke, thermals can even see right through it like it's not even there. Hot smoke, it blocks thermal sights, giving you and your teammates cover. But most of the time, you'll be popping smoke to repair in peace, or sometimes just to fake out the enemy by tossing smoke somewhere in random and making them think someone's sneaking through. But heads up, hot smoke usually unlocks pretty late, closer to endgame vehicles. So early on, don't expect miracles. Thermal sights can sometimes come bundled with night vision too, but honestly, night vision is useless 99% of the time unless you find yourself stuck on a night map. Now, if you really want to stay safe, here's a pro move. Just shoot the enemy's gun barrel. Yep, it's actually a damageable module. If you break it, that tank's basically out of the fight. After that, take out their tracks. Once they're immobile and defenseless, you can easily swing around and blast them in the side. Or better yet, shove a shell right up their engine bay from behind. Oh! But remember, my battle buddy, tanks aren't just giant hunks of metal with guns slapped on them. The real magic, or disaster, comes from the crew inside. And trust me, your crew's skill can make a huge difference in how your tank actually performs in battle. Crew skills cover everything, from how fast your tank moves to how quickly you reload to how accurately you shoot. And there's also something called qualification. Basically an upgrade that boosts the entire crew's performance at once. It's pricey, yeah, but the benefits are absolutely worth it. I highly recommend you grab qualifications for any tank you plan to stick with long term. It seriously upgrades your tank's combat effectiveness in a big way. Got any other useful tips that could help tank gameplay? Drop them in the comments. Let's chat about your strategies and plans. Maybe you've got some hidden tricks or total game changers that can seriously flip the battlefield. Look, I'm here to help. Let's team up and make the game even better and more fun. The more cool stuff we gather, the stronger we all get. And hey now, if you've already made a few mistakes, maybe leveled up tanks you don't even like anymore, or just want a fresh start, good news, you'll find a link in the description to create a new account. Start fresh with massive bonuses that'll give your grind a huge boost. Premium vehicles of 3 types, a solid pile of starting cash so you don't have to stress about upgrades, a premium account, and even mid-tier rental vehicles to kick things off strong. So what are you waiting for? Hit the link, sign up, download the game, and dive straight into the action. That's all from me for now. I know, thanks a lot, thanks again, and thanks for listening. Good luck. I'll catch you on the battlefield. You're welcome.